Leadership, the action of leading a group of people or an organization. The definition is simple. However, the value of leadership goes beyond a simple explanation. You're checking out The Healthy Leader, discussing the different styles and the importance of great leadership. Now here's your host, Michelle Franklin.
Hey guys, this is Michelle coming on to give you guys another nugget on tonight as it relates to the topic of leadership. I was really considering not doing this podcast tonight, but I said, you know what? I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to get up and I am going to give this podcast on tonight because I know it will bless someone. And so one of the things that I would love to say is this. Leaders are consistent. Okay. That's one of the key components to actually being a leader, is just making sure that you are consistent with everything that you do. And so in this season of my life as a leader, I need to ensure that I am consistent and committed and faithful to the things that I set out to do. And so one of the things that is very vital to leadership is being able to walk in our purpose. You know, one of the things that we always tell people is that if you're looking for someone to help you walk in your purpose, we have life coaches, we got all these different type of coaches that will help you walk in your purpose. And so we strive each and every day to get to that place where we feel like we're walking in purpose. However, it takes consistency to get there. It takes consistency to get there. And so part of the thing that make you a leader is the fact that you are consistent with whatever it is that you are doing, because consistency helps you get to the next level. And so it takes a level of maturity to say, hey, I'm going to be consistent. When you think about consistency, do you ever think about integrity? I want you all to really think about that. When you think about consistency, do you think about integrity? A person who has integrity is a person let's say, how can I say this? In its simplest form, a person who has integrity is a person who keeps their word. It's kind of similar to consistency. Consistency is not just about doing the same thing over and over and over, like creating a habit. But consistency, it has a lot to do with your actions. It has a lot to do with keeping your word, which is integral. Are you integral? And so this is why consistency is one of the components to actually being a great leader and walking in your purpose. You cannot reach a place of purpose without being consistent in whatever it is that you are setting up to do. Whatever it is that you step out to do, you have to make sure that you are consistent in that thing. Some of us are consistent every day with certain TV shows that we watch. We have to watch these particular shows, and we're consistent at the time that we put it on and everything. And what I am telling you is that if you ever want to be great, you have to be consistent in the thing that you're doing to make it to a place of greatness. And so here it is. I decided to start 3 different podcasts. I'm doing 2 of them at night and 1 of them in the morning. You know, the one that I'm doing in the morning is not going to be every day like these are. And these may not be every day. It's just me starting out this way that I'm doing them every day. But it takes a level of consistency to say, hey, listen, I'm going to start 3 different podcasts. And I'm going to address 3 different issues. And I'm going to encourage and empower three different groups of people. I'm going to encourage those who have a desire to learn more about the prophetic ministry. I'm going to encourage those who have a desire to learn more about leadership. And then I'm going to encourage those who have a desire for entrepreneurship. And so it takes consistency to get up and say, I am going to do what I said I was going to do so that the people can get what they need in order to fulfill their purpose. You are the key to someone's purpose. You are the key to someone's destiny. You are the key to someone reaching it to their final destination. Sometimes they won't make it there without you. This is why we have life coaches. This is why we have leadership coaches. Leadership coaches. Leaders help you by giving you power. They help you by empowering you to get up and get moving and keep your word. They listen, they encourage you to do what? Be consistent. They encourage you to be consistent. That is part of being a leader. One of the things that I can honestly say about my life when it comes to leadership is that, oh my God, I never, ever, just say never, ever, oh my goodness. I am telling y'all, listen, I never, ever thought that I would be like in leadership. And I'm not just talking about the church, man. Y'all, I'm talking about just in general, like even as a little girl, I was always like a leader among the pack. You know what I'm saying? I was always the one that was called on amongst the pack. But even though that was the case, I never assumed that that would be the role I would possess one day. I never, working at companies, I never desired. I wasn't like 16 to 17 years old saying, hey, I'm going to own my own company one day, be my own boss. That never crossed my mind. Now today in this generation, we seeing that happening all the time. We seeing kids saying, hey, I'm going to be my own boss, but I just didn't think about that. It wasn't like a desire of mine. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do a vision board and I'm going to put this on my vision board. No, none of that was thought about. I didn't think about any of that, guys. And so for me to be in a leadership position, having businesses, being in ministry, it was difficult. It was a process that I had to go through. And, it's hard. I'm going to say that. I don't know if you guys know how hard it is sometimes, but it's hard being the person that people rely on. It's hard being the person that people, call and gravitate to when there is an issue, because they know that if they have a issue, then, you can give them the solution. You can give them wisdom, counsel. Sometimes it's hard. And the reason why it's hard is because sometimes people believe that their emergency is your emergency. They're having a crisis. It's an emergency, but it's not your emergency. And sometimes you can't handle everything for everybody all at one time. Sometimes you have to say no as a leader. And so being in a leadership position, man, I'm telling you, it was nothing that I desired. This thing just creeped up. Let me tell y'all, this thing just creeped up. Creep. This thing literally creeped up on me. Okay? Listen. This thing creeped up on me. It creeped up on me. Teaching creeped up on me. Never desired to be a teacher. Listen, I am an author of 17 books. Listen, guys, I didn't even like to read. Can I be transparent? Can I be truthful and really tell you guys the honest truth? I never had a desire to read, let alone be an author of 17 books. to the degree that now I'm getting grades. Like, I am great at editing now. I'm great when it comes to writing, in terms of making sure the grammar and stuff is okay. Sometimes you do want to put a book together and you want to write how you talk. Like, yeah, what up, what up, what up. You want to talk, you want the book to sound how you talk sometimes, just to express yourself so that the readers can really hear your voice. But because it's a book, you can't always do that. You can, but you don't want to always do that. So you have to make sure that the grammar is straight. And so I have just gotten great even with that. But never was a desire. Never. So when I was younger, people gravitated to me, gravitated to my wisdom. As a young child, I had a measure of wisdom that was given to me. And this is why some leaders have a grace for leadership. They have a grace for leadership. And so I believe that as a child, I had a grace of leadership on my life. And so I've had a level of influence where people just flocked to me because they saw the leader in me. They looked towards me for something. Even on my job, I remember working for this hospital. And we had a new manager to come in, and this manager, nobody. Okay, y'all, let me stop acting silly. Listen, nobody really cared for this manager. However, he came in, he really didn't care about the employees. Like, I'm the head person in charge. And all I know is I ended up getting sick and I had to leave. Now, although nobody really liked him, in the workplace, I was very professional, very humble, and I served. I did what was expected of me, and I went above and beyond. If you hired me for your company, my mentality was, I'm responsible for everything that's in here. And this generation do not have that mentality, guys. This generation does not have that mentality. They feel like if you hire me for the register, that's all I'm doing. No. Me, I feel like if you hire me for the register, if you need me to get off the register and go sweep the dining room, that's what I'm going to do because I'm on your time. And so I was working there, and although people had a problem with him, I didn't. So I ended up getting sick, and I had to take a leave of absence. So I was gone from the place for maybe about a month and a half. Well, I come back, and he had renovated basically the whole place. He changed all of the stations and everything, but he didn't change my area. So I was just a little kind of feeling some type of way, like, why would he not change my area? Like, I'm like dumbfounded, like okay, maybe they right about him, maybe he tweaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, my station needed, like, I need new this, I need new that, and he just didn't do anything. So anyway, he calls me into the office, and this is what he said. He says, I did some changes, and I watched you before you left and went on sick leave. He said, and he said you work really well. You have a level of influence on your life, and I see people respect you and they honor you. He said, and I love your work ethics. He said, I love your presentation. He said, I just love how you work and how you do your area. He said, so what I wanted to do was, he said, I didn't want to just change your area. He said, I wanted to wait till you got back, and I wanted to talk to you and get, from you how you feel about the station being changed, and I wanted to know your ideas because I want to know what works best for you. I wanted to, be great for you because he said, I love your ideas. I love how you set things up. I love your presentation and how you do things. And so I just wanted to make sure that it was up to your standards. Listen, Are y'all hearing me? This is what this man said. So I